Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we have a very nice video for you all as we will be ranking Half-Life 2 roleplay servers from the popular sandbox game known as Garry's Mod. I am joined here today with a very good friend of mine, Dr. Kleiner, and Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Always a pleasure to be here with you, Dr. Breen. Loved your work at Black Mesa. You too, Dr. Kleiner.
It's very nice to be here today with you both.
Kleiner, why does your mic sound so terrible?
I was running some test in the lab today, and I guess I spilled some shit on it. Sorry if it sounds atrocious.
It's not too bad, but besides that, should we get started here, boys?
Absolutely. What are we starting with first, Breen?
I think it's best to start with the classic Impulse server. What are we thinking about this one, boys?
Personally, I enjoyed it from the beginning. It brought a nice aesthetic to Garry's Mod and improved over time to feel more like a role-play server set in Half-Life 2 and not some dark RP garbage.
I would have to agree, even with the drama that was happening in the background with Vin and his staff team, the player base was fairly okay up until December of 2021, which we all know what happened that month.
So it's fair to say we should put Impulse in S tier, considering it would be the father of Half-Life 2 roleplay servers after its rather dramatic exit.
I don't see a problem with that.
Sounds good to me.
All right, next we have Landis. Now, I personally didn't enjoy Landis as much as other people did. Its beginnings were very shaky, and not just gameplay-wise, but wow, was there a lot of drama within their community.
I don't know much about Landis. Wasn't a big fan of playing on it when I heard a few Impulse mods and their friends would help moderate and run it. But I watched some videos on it from YouTubers, and it looks all right.
Couldn't have said it any better, but besides that, it slowly evolved into something better than its predecessor and kept a very positive player base.
Despite all of that, though, it certainly created a lot of new memories for Impulse players and continues to do so today, I would say it's fair to put this in B tier. All right, so now we have Vanilla. What are our thoughts on this one, boys?
I thought Landis would have been bad after Impulse's shutdown, but holy shit, did Vanilla take the cake. Not to mention how toxic their player base was, but how unoptimized and laggy their server was. It had an extremely rough start and didn't fully recover until they got rid of some bad apples in their staff team and fixed the server.
I agree with you, Trump. I don't know why they thought having people like Fedor in their administration would be a good idea. And don't even get me started on that whole Sex 9 crap and Minge events they had.
So we all agree Vanilla is worthy of a C tier?
If it wasn't for the fact they added some new cool features to their server, I would say F tier. But sure, C tier works.
And now we are at Landis Horizons. And I gotta say, it was definitely a big surprise for their player base and major overhaul to the Impulse framework as a whole.
Horizons certainly helped with the revitalization of Landis. It gave a more grim atmosphere to their server and implemented new mechanics that show just how impressive the Impulse framework can be when coded by the right people.
It was decent at best. A lot of the features they added didn't seem cool, and from what I've seen, it seems like they want to focus on things more combat-oriented rather than role-play-oriented. I would put it in B tier.
Well, Trump, Horizons fixed their server optimization as a whole and overhauled a lot of things in the server that didn't work.
Just like how it took them nearly a year to fix head crab meat and that CWU rework that flopped. Don't give me that server optimization crap, Breen.
Breen has a point, Trump. Horizons did fix a lot of issues that were more present than most. Maybe A tier seems fitting.
Oh God, you're worse than Joe.
Sorry, Trump, but A tier it is. Now let's move on to the final Impulse framework server, Nova Aurora.
It's like if Vanilla got relaunched, but without the dogshit staff team from last and a poor server host, not to mention the content they had on release was fulfilling.
I agree. I enjoyed the release of Nova, and it certainly seems to be promising. It was well developed considering it only has like 1 or 2 devs right now.
You guys are delusional. It's just a reskinned Vanilla and the guns they have are shitty. The combat is terrible and the civil protection rank system is atrocious.
You would say something that brain dead, wouldn't you, Breen?
Yeah, Breen, you're the crazy one if that's all you really care about on that server. It offers a lot of role-play opportunities. I see you, gang, rise up.
I guess you're right, but I still hold on to my ideas. Seems like it would be A tier then. Now onto the non-Impulse framework Half-Life 2 roleplay servers, and why not start with Willard?
Willard certainly opened up a lot of doors for serious roleplay in the Half-Life 2 roleplay community in Garry's Mod. I enjoyed a lot of the details and features they added that made things immersive.
Agreed, Trump. Gave a different flow in gameplay And the combat is fairly decent as well. Kleiner, what do you think, A tier? Kleiner?
I don't like Willard.
Why not? It has a few server-side issues, sure, but what's there to not like?
They perma-banned me on there, so I just hate it.
Kleiner, how exactly did you get perma-banned from Willard of all places?
I tried to have an orgy with head crabs.
Jesus
What the
Christ,
fuck,
Kleiner,
Kleiner?
what the hell is wrong with you?
It's not my fault. It looks like they have massive vaginas for mouths.
Put that shit in A tier and let's move on.
Oh, wait a moment. I think we forgot one other server that uses Impulse Framework. It's, Roots.
Great server idea, terrible management, and full of minges. Dock that shit in C tier.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with Trump on that one, C tier.
I thought so. Now let's resume on where we left off. Up next is Synapse.
Oh, Synapse is great. Truly one of the better Half-Life 2 role-play servers currently in development, and after playing a couple of playtests, I can tell it'll have a great launch and no overused content or gameplay.
I personally think it's a little oversaturated and overhyped. Just feels like Willard again. Also, they can be extremely toxic. They always seem to be talking shit about other servers, and don't even get me started on how cringe their civil protection player base is.
I'm hearing a little salt come from you, Kleiner. What did they do, deny your staff app on there or something?
It's probably because he isn't allowed to say Universal Union in their server and Discord.
Shut it, Breen.
Well, now that is over, we can put this here in A tier since Kleiner did bring up some good points. Now, onto Cataclysm. How are we feeling about this one?
I played it a lot when it was in its prime, and I certainly enjoyed the feel of it. Offered a lot of immersive combat and role play. It was a shame it died out when it was just starting to get good.
You would play something like this, wouldn't you? Kleiner, this goofy-ass nutscript server, just became a CVR server with a massive Combine bias and overall just went to shit.
I would have to agree with Trump. It certainly didn't leave as big an impact in the Half-Life 2 roleplay community, and with that we are putting it in C tier.
You guys are fucking unbelievable.
Now here we have Nebulous, and I don't know about you guys, but I would have to put this shit into S tier. It was an amazing roleplay server despite using NutScript and thrived for so long. I'm glad it died out on a good note.
S tier for sure. I loved playing as a Vortigaunt on that server.
Absolutely, no argument with you there, Breen.
All right, sounds good. And last but not least, we have
F tier.
F tier.
I guess that settles it then. Well, thank you both for joining me today, and I hope you, the viewer, has enjoyed our little tier list. Be sure to like and subscribe and have a blessed day.
See you guys later.
God, I'm thirsty. Ivanka, where is my water?